Hey there, you're watching the Dave Does channel, and this is Dave Does Reacts. Today I'm going to be checking out some Silent Theory and Made Me This Way. Silent Theory is a band I've never checked out, but it's a band I am aware of the title of the band. Never heard any of their stuff. I think that band, Sleep Token, and someone else. There was another band that kind of popped up on my radar all around the same time, and then Sleep Token just blew up, and so never really got round to checking out this other band as well, but at the same sort of time as Sleep Token were kind of popping up on my festival lineups that I was checking out, Silent Theory did as well, I believe. Could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it was the band. But as I said, I never got round to checking it out, so I thought eventually I would now get round to doing it. Sorry, bit of sleep in my eye there. Before I get to the video, now the way I do my videos is I do play the video from start to finish uninterrupted with no pausing and no talking over the top, which means we cannot monetize. So if you get an opportunity, I would love it if you could check out my bands. Sleep Token, I wish. My bands Nothing Gained and Telescribe, and that's one of the reasons why I do these. This reaction channel is I've spent the last 30 odd years doing bands, including, as I said, Nothing Gained and Telescribe. So if you get a chance to check them out on Spotify or YouTube, it would be greatly appreciated. I do some of the songwriting, and I'm the drummer within those bands. So we're currently working on the second album for Telescribe right at the moment, and currently out doing shows as well. So it keeps me rather busy. But yeah, we're going to check this band out. And the main thing to remember is no matter what I say about a band, I always try to be respectful about it. But the only thing that really matters is that you enjoy this band or you enjoy your music. So don't take peer pressure. Don't feel that someone, like, if you're a Nickelback fan, be proud of your fact you're a Nickelback fan. Just because someone says Nickelback shit, that's their opinion. It matters nothing. You can be proud of your fan. I'm a fan of Nickelback. I think they're a great band, but I like loads of bands. I love bands. I love music. But there are some bands, I never hate a band. I don't think there's any band that I don't like, unless it's for like some sort of right-wing extremist or something like that. But from a musical point, there's songs I don't like, but it's never about the band. It's music I may not be a fan of. That's the main thing. Anyway, let's get to this. I've waffled and talked bollocks for the last sort of like 2.5 minutes, so let's just get to the bloody video. I think that's all you're screaming at me at the rest, wanting to say, stop talking, play the video. Okay, here we go. Silent Theory, Made Me This Way.
Fight again, I'm probably the villain.
Okay, there we go. So Silent Theory and Made Me This Way. So lots to talk about in this particular band. Let's get to the musical side of it first, and then we'll talk about the video elements afterwards. So musically, I'm going to say new metalcore, I would guess, is probably a genre I'd put them into. Now, metalcore is a genre that's been bled to death, oversaturated over the last sort of 20 odd years, with very little innovation going on. We went through the Gentins elements of it. We've had the big parts of the breakdowns. The breakdowns are now really obvious within bands like this. And then we, in more recent years, probably in the last sort of 5 years, we've had the new element coming in, which is obviously the blending of new metal into metalcore, where we're getting more sample orientations and those kind of hooks that we expected with new metal coming back in. And new metalcore the new metal element has definitely revitalized metalcore to some degree, but what we have got is a massive saturation of metalcore bands, which means they're all kind of sitting within the very similar principles of songwriting, i.e. the verse, chorus, mid breakdown, double chorus at the end, which is pretty much standardized throughout songwriting. Very few bands or very few songs differentiate between those sort of structures. It does happen, but it'll be some small variation to that: verse, chorus, midsection, double chorus at the end. It'll be some variation to that, but it will be very closely laid out to that, because you couldn't just go in there and go, right, we'll start with a midsection and then we'll just do double choruses and then we'll do a verse and we'll do 3 verses in a row. You can't just go off and do a randomized, because the human brain is kind of, anyone that listens to music enough you're almost programmed to expect certain things to follow in a certain order, and that was very much the case here. So you know, listening to this song, you're hearing the verse, you're hearing the chorus, you're hearing the verse, you're hearing the chorus. You knew there was a midsection. If you'd gone into another verse, it would have gone like, oh, hang on, that sounds a bit odd. But musically, really good, very good, catchy track. I thought vocals were really strong, really tight production of the track. Obvious, big, clean chorus, but I think it worked really, really well. So within their genre, they're doing sounded really, really good. I struggle to pick them out from a lot of new metalcore groups, in all honesty. It would be, unless I knew a lot, maybe after I listened to them for 5-6 different songs from this particular band, I'd probably be able to start to differentiate them a bit more. But on first listening, there's nothing massively obvious that sets them apart from a lot of other new metalcore bands out there. But they were really good as a whole. The song was very catchy, and there was nothing in there that made me go, I'm not really a fan of that. So yeah, fair play, really good track. Overall, video-wise, now there's a massive controversy. I don't call it a massive controversy. I think some people are making it massive controversy, which is use of AI-generated images. Now you can see at the end there was a lead editor. There was a director and there was a lead animator. Now my guess with this lead animator is they were not all generated by him from scratch. A lot of these were AI-generated images that were then edited afterwards. With AI generated or image editors or video editors with prompts, which were then put together. Some of those images I've seen, because I've run prompts on certain AI generators myself and come up with images very, very similar to a couple of those. So there was a few in there that I was like, I've seen that image before, because I've asked for something. I think I did a Jack the Ripper through London, and it came up with one of those images popped. I was like, hell, that's the same image I've generated. So there is something in there about that. Now, I actually don't have a problem with it. Now, the people that do have a problem with AI-generated images are the ones that go, you're taking work away from artists. You're taking work away from people within the industry. Well, that's what streaming platforms did. They took away the entire CD duplication. Shop workers, it killed off an entire part of the industry, streaming did. So I don't think musicians can really bitch and moan too much about it, considering we make no money anyway as musicians. It's very, very tough. So we're struggling ourselves. And so why should we spend stupid amounts of money to an illustrator when we can generate something with AI and get someone to then edit it down to our needs? So what we need is these illustrators and artists to work with AI themselves. to get into the industry. It's just about adapting, because I think you've now got to understand that musicians really do not make money from their music anymore. So we have to, if to get content out, you have to use what you've got. I thought it was actually a really good use of AI. There were a few images in there that didn't make quite a lot of sense. I think there was a bit where London streets, and it looked like they were rowing boats down it at one point, and there was another scene where it was going through some streets with old cars, and there was bits of cogs and stuff, and I'm like, that's where you've got a morphed image. And that's where sometimes AI, where it's taken a prompt and it's kind of messed up the prompt slightly, and it hasn't quite understood what you wanted. But generally, most of the things that it's asked for the prompt wise were really cool, and I could kind of get an element of a story going on with what they were trying to talk about there. So yeah, I don't have a problem. I could easily go back through that video, watch that video, and try and dissect it in a bit more detail. I don't know if it's needed, because I think there was a lot of prompted images that were kind of then cut together to try to formate some form of a story, but it's not necessary. I think if you try to read it as an actual like start to finish story, it wouldn't make any sense. I think it's just trying to give you an awareness of what it's trying to go on about. But yeah, very, very much an AI generated. So if anyone goes, oh no, they were done from scratch, that's bollocks. You can clearly tell when something's been an AI generated animation versus otherwise. And I think that you can tell. But what they've done is they've done the AI generation, got the footage bit they need, and then they've cut that together and worked out how to segue. So there has been some videography work gone in afterwards and some thought process. So there is elements. It's not just like they've generated a whatever that is 3.5 minute video from start to finish with an AI prompting on, there you go, that's the video. That's bollocks. That's not what's happened. So that's why I still think that using AI images or videography things for your music videos and stuff is absolutely fine, as long as you've done a bit of thought process behind it. But I'd be interested to see what other people think about it. But I mean, Silent Theory, good band, good song, good video. Not made me want to go out particularly and check them, but it's not a band I'd avoid. I think if they were playing a bill and they were if I was going to a concert somewhere and there was a band on the bill that I really liked and this band was playing with them, I would definitely check these guys out live. They look like a band or sound like a band that would be cool to check out. But because I don't listen to new metalcore, it's not my kind of chill out vibe thing. It's not got enough to make me go out and go, yeah, gonna listen to these guys again. I'm not gonna bullshit you by saying that, but maybe there's some from them. I will check them out if you guys want me to. Another song from them. See if you think there's something there that might switch my mind, because it does happen. There are bands out there that I did multiple videos to and was like, no, not a fan. Gave my thought, and then one song from their catalogue switched me to being a fan, and then I loved everything. So it can happen. So let me know in the comments down below, and I will certainly give them another check out. But thank you very much for checking me out today. Please remember, please do check out Nothing Gained and Telescribe. I keep going Sleep Token for some reason in my head. Check them out as well. Why not? And I'll see you in the video sometime very soon. Take care.